You're watching an action guide summary from an episode of ecommercescale.com. At ecommercescale.com, we help you take your 6 or 7-figure e-commerce store to the next level. For more information about this episode and other resources you can use, visit ecommercescale.com.
Yes, so I guess let's go back into some best practices of live chat. So you said, you guys did 3,500 chats last week. You guys have a lot of data, a lot of products you're going after. So what are like some of the overarching things you guys have built into your best practices when you do it for customers?
Yeah, I think a good way to start is some of the mistakes that we see, because the majority of our customers have had live chat on their site before. They ran it themselves and then they had us take it over. So we see, a lot of different ways to run chat, I guess we would say. So some of the mistakes that stores make is having a really slow first response time, or, God forbid, not responding at all. And so what I mean by that is, somebody clicks the chat box because they have a question and the box says, click to chat. They click it. It automates some message to say, hi, how can I help you, or something, right? Like most systems do. They type the message and then nobody responds, or it takes like 2 or 3 or 4 minutes for somebody to respond. And that is super, super common when you run the chat yourself, or, you have somebody on your team running it, because they're not doing chats all day long. They're not sitting there waiting for a chat to come in. They're processing orders or doing some other things. So I think that's one of the main best practices, is you have to respond for that first response time really, really quickly. We focus on keeping it within 4 to 6 seconds. 15 seconds maximum. And that is kind of a good window to be in, to where visitors, don't realize that it's, just there's nobody there, right? That's the worst thing that can happen is if you don't respond at all, or you respond really, really slowly. So that's one piece. Another piece that we've noticed in terms of best practice is you don't want to force people through a contact form, or a pre-chat survey is technically what it's called. Basically, one thing you can do with most chat software, and it makes sense from a marketing perspective to get the data up front, but it's a really bad experience for the visitor. If you basically have the click to chat button on your site, and then they click it because they have a question, and then it says, we're happy to help you. Can I get your name, email, phone? Have you purchased from us before? What's your budget? Are you going to buy today? People don't ask those crazy questions, but pushing people through a form is just a very bad experience for the visitor. So that's something we see a lot too, is just, doing stuff that makes sense from a marketing perspective. It's great to get the data, but it's not really thinking of the visitor experience.
So when you say response time 4 to 6 seconds, it's when they've opened the chat, typed something, not like as soon as they're on your site, right?
Correct. Yeah. So basically that wouldn't be like a invite. That wouldn't be an invite or something like that, where you're inviting them to chat right away on your site.
Got it. So if you're doing 4 to 6 seconds, does that mean you have like a team 24 hours a day, like just kind of waiting for this pretty much? Or how does it set up on your site?
I mean, that is how our system's set up. We have a pretty good sized group of agents that's all they do all day is live chat for our customers. So we're able to manage the entire business based on that first response time and a couple of other metrics. But that metric is pretty easy to track in most of these live chat systems. And so you just want to make sure that you're at least aware of what the number is. If it's 15 seconds, maybe that's fine. If it's 30, that's starting to get up there. But you really want to picture your visitor typing a message because you already invited them to chat, right? Your system might even have said, hey, I'm online. Do you have any questions? And then they replied. And if they sit there for 30 full seconds, it's very awkward for a visitor. And so that's kind of the main thing I think that, at least for listeners to keep track of, is like watch that first response time and keep it as low as you physically can.
Because as a visitor, the last thing I want to be is that this chat shows up, I type something, the guy's not there. I feel like I got duped into typing this chat when no one's there.
Exactly.
You're watching an action guide summary from an episode of ecommercescale.com. At ecommercescale.com, we help you take your 6 or 7-figure e-commerce store to the next level. For more information about this episode and other resources you can use, visit ecommercescale.com.